Hey, how's it going? My name's Nico and I'm from Travel and Teach Recruiting. So today I want to talk about 5 of the best cities for teaching and living in Korea. So on a side note, I actually taught and lived in Korea for a year and a half, and now I currently work as a placement officer who helps send teachers there for teaching English. So yeah, let's get started. So as a precursor to this, excluded from the list are Seoul and Busan. So if you know anything about teaching in Korea, you've probably heard about teaching in either of those 2 cities. And they're probably the most popular locations because A, Seoul is the capital and it's the biggest city, and Busan is also really popular because it's the second biggest city and it's also located on the beach. So having lived there myself, I've spent a lot of time in Seoul and Busan, and I can say that they are awesome, really fun cities with a lot of stuff going on. So it definitely makes sense why a lot of people want to end up there. However, there are a few reasons why you might not want to live there. So A, teaching there is really competitive. If you don't have several years of ESL teaching experience, it can be really difficult to get a good job there. And the other big issue is because those cities are so big, there's a bunch of congestion, a lot of traffic, and kind of getting around from place to place within the city can be really time consuming, even if you're going on public transportation. So because of those reasons, I wanted to tell you guys about 5 other awesome cities in Korea where you should do some research on and consider when you're planning on going there. So number 1 on the list is Daegu. Daegu is an awesome city for several reasons. First of all, it's still really big, has a population of around 2.5 million people, and it is close to the beach, it's close to the mountains, and it's near the center of it's kind of the southwest part of the country, so you can get around pretty easily. Probably the best part about living in Daegu is that the nightlife and central area are all very centralized. So it's super easy to get around, it's easy to bar hop, restaurant hop, all of the fun areas are in the same location. So the second city on the list is Daejeon. Daejeon is probably the most convenient city for getting around to other parts of Korea because it's located on a transport hub. So you're on the train line and there are tons of buses coming in and out. So it's a great place for traveling off to other areas. Daejeon is also great if you're into the outdoors. So it's surrounded by several mountain ranges and hundreds of hiking trails. Lastly, Daejeon is home to probably Korea's most famous festival, which is the Cherry Blossom Festival. The third city on the list is Gwangju. Gwangju is great because it has kind of like a wide array of things to do. If you're into hiking, you can hike Mount Mudong, which has beautiful views of the whole city. You can check out several very iconic and beautiful Buddhist temples. And lastly, if you're into city life, Gwangju has a bunch of awesome shopping districts and famous food markets and shopping markets. And on top of that, it's got a nice nightlife scene with a bunch of foreigners. The 4th city on the list is Incheon, and I'm definitely biased because I spent actually my whole time living in Incheon. So just to name a few really fun things to do, one is home to Korea's biggest Chinatown. So there you can try local Korean Chinese dishes and and get a unique flavor of the Chinese architecture. Probably another great thing to do is checking out Womida, which is their Coney Island style boardwalk. So it's right on the water. They've got a little theme park, lots of great restaurants, ferry rides, stuff like that. And lastly, you should head to Songdo. So Songdo is kind of Korea's biggest and first smart city. So it's technologically advanced, it's all brand new, and it even is home to Venetian style canals and a replica of New York Central Park. So it's great for day trips. So the 5th and final city on the list is Suwon, which is right outside of Seoul and is also home to the headquarters of Samsung and Everland, which is Korea's largest amusement park. Suwon is also really cool because it's very historical. It's actually the only Korean city to be completely surrounded by an ancient wall. And lastly, Suwon is great because it has a really fun and bustling nightlife, which happens in 2 neighborhoods, Incheon and Suwon Station. So there you have it. These are 5 of the best cities for living and teaching in Korea. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to click the subscribe button below for more videos like it. And if you're interested in teaching in Korea, click on the links to get started. See you next time.